GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So Fatman.
Sleazy, you're not dead?
I try not to be dead.
Oh. I'm sorry, Ryan. The fat horsemen don't ride this week.
No.
Bullshit.
Hey, wait a second. Were you already trying to replace me? I was gone for 1 week.
No.
Lies. The reports of my death were greatly exaggerated.
I'm not lying. I'm sitting. There's a difference.
Fair. Well, let's talk more about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. Tonight we have, as you probably heard in the open, Ryan Williams is here.
Hey, yo. Also, you're a dickhead for changing the day. Now I'm going to watch Raw in the background. This is bullshit. NXT in the background, not Raw.
Sorry. Unfortunately, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Normally we tape this on Tuesday, and today is Monday because, it's Raw.
Dickheads.
Yeah, and we're dickheads.
Oh, learn to multitask like all the world. I can talk and piss people off at the same time. You can talk and watch Raw at the same time.
You know what, Sleazy?
Yes.
I wish I was athletic solely so I could drop kick you in the throat.
Me? Why me?
Well, one, I had to drop the line, and two, you changed the date to the day.
Okay, fair.
That was the line?
Yeah, I wish I was athletic enough to drop kick you in the neck or throat. Depends on how I feel.
Considering
I shouldn't be as disappointed as I am because I knew it was going to be shitty. That was terrible. That was bad.
it was turbad.
I no-sold that shit.
It was battable.
It was battable. Yeah. So I'll just throw it out there. We need to watch or talk about, we already watched Money in the Bank. We're not gonna really talk about Slammiversary this week, are we?
No, we're going to do that next week.
Okay. There have been a lot of, let's just say there have been people in the wrestling show community.
Say them. Say it. There's been a mark.
There's been a mark in the wrestling show community that has stated that Slammiversary was the best show of the 4?
He also said, before Money in the Bank went on the air, he said that WWE better bring their A game from what ROH did and what Impact did. Granted, I haven't watched Slammiversary yet. Ryan and I covered ROH last week, and there is no way Jay Briscoe is winning the ROH World title. ROH was an okay show for a house show at best.
By the way,
So if he thinks that ROH is better than Money in the Bank, I will personally drive down to Gettysburg, punch him in the fucking ovary, and eat his balls with an ice cream scoop. What a fucking mark.
by the way, I did listen to your guys' show before we went on the air, and you guys did good. You guys did good. You know what that means? I quit. See you guys.
Goodbye.
Yeah, okay.
Just leaves the Zoom call.
It's just end meeting.
Yeah, I know what you want, Kat. You want this.
No, in all seriousness, Best in the World was an interesting show to say the least. I really am not sure what to really feel about it. I watched it, but I guess I wasn't in the mood anyway, but it didn't seem like anybody else was either. Let's get started on this show. Did anybody watch the pre-show?
Yes.
So I went to go watch the pre-show, but Peacock's all like, No pre-show for you.
Good.
I watched this morning and not last night.
So, Ryan, you saw one of the biggest surprises of the entire evening.
Was it, though?
No. Like, not at all.
Was it, though?
Okay. I feel like a lot of Dominic's weaknesses kind of got shown in this match. Just kind of like, okay, you were given a lot of good names and doing all the shit you're doing. Now you give the Usos a kind of... They couldn't work with Dominic, which is weird because they should have been able to work that stall, but it looked a little sloppy. I guess it made sense why it was on the pre-show, but it did look a little sloppy.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
As will I, because I didn't watch the pre-show either.
Right Kids won. I love the fucking Bloodline anyway, so Right Kids won.
Well, they needed to have all the main titles with the Bloodline. So they were kind of playing around with it for a while now. So it's finally them winning makes sense. You get DUI, you get tag title shots and wins. In fact, isn't this not even the first time that's happened to them?
What?
About the Usos?
Yeah. They won the tag straps after one of them gets a DUI.
Oh, yeah. No, it's happened before.
So...
Mm-hmm.
Note to self, kids. Get a DWI, win titles.
DUI.
Same thing.
Apparently not, since there's two fucking definitions for it.
Do you know?
Same letters.
Do you know why?
It's not in the same letters.
It's the same letters.
Hang on. How many? What year did we go down to WrestleMania in New Orleans?
2013.
New Orleans.
2018.
Oh,
New
your
Orleans.
second go.
So that was 3 years ago. That means Nicholas would have been 13. He's got 8 more years to start drinking and being a belt collector.
2.
Sure.
At this point, he'll be longer tenured than Braun
he's
will
probably
be.
had like 5 or 6 kids by now. For all the pussy he gets.
That is true. That is true.
Anyway, Money in the Bank.
Time.
Money in the Bank proper opens up with a women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Alexa. Versus some Asian, versus Liv Morgan, versus I'm Almost Spelled Backwards, versus Almost a Superhero Nikki, versus Natasha, versus a Murderer's Daughter, and versus Selena. She's so tiny. 15 minutes, 45 seconds. Obviously, Meltzer's a bitch, and fuck Dave Meltzer. No star ratings yet, so I got John Cantons. He gave this match 3 1/4. Ryan.
Great ending. This match was sloppier than the tag match on the pre-show.
I have not said this in a very, very long time. I hope you step on a fucking Lego. That ending was the dumbest thing on this show.
It was
so stupid.
We're going to fight tonight. That's good. Why? It was the first time it's ever been done. It was fucking brilliant. All the times everybody's like, does that beat him up, or how come nobody goes for it? A fucking Almost a Superhero went for it, and it worked.
Here's why it's dumb. She had to climb over 2 people, or at least one person, to do it. That person could have been like, oh, what the hell is on me? Couldn't stop them? That's why it's dumb.
They're all infighting.
She climbed over Liv Morgan, or whoever was in front of her. She literally had to climb over. I mean, I climbed Morgan too.
See, you've already canceled out your own argument.
At the same time, in a very different way. It was stupid. It was the stupidest thing on this show. 100%. The match, agree, sloppy as fuck. It was an okay match for a house show. 2.5 stars. That tug of war spot lasted way too long for a setup to set up a spot that wasn't very good and kind of pointless. And I thought the right person won. I called Nikki winning it a month ago, and I've seen backlash. I've seen like all these comments online going, well, the only thing I really didn't like about this show was Liv Morgan didn't win. What made you think she was going to win? Exactly. There you go. Exactly. It was 100% going to Nikki. There was no one else in this match who was going to win. Okay, sleazy.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. Of the two of you, who was right about the way Nikki won?
Me.
Ryan. Absolutely 100%
Nope.
the best.
You're always wrong. You just proved my point.
Okay, you can go fuck off, first of all.
Hey, before you tear in him, may I remind you, Fat Man, that he will just mute you at any time again.
Fair. But that's only
Show will be
one
worse
per
off
show.
without me on it, so we already know that.
It's only one per show on this time anyway. But no, the reason why it works is that it showed that she took an opportunity that no one else did. And if you look at what her character is and why it's become this, it makes sense with her from her character perspective. And also it makes sense from a perspective of nobody's really done that before. You've had it was unexpected. It was a time where you thought, oh, well, she can't really grab it. Oops, she did. So it was really unexpected. It actually worked well with the Liv Morgan thing because, as much as Fatman wants to bitch about it, they positioned Liv as like the ultimate underdog in the match.
Yep.
Not anybody else. Not even Nikki. Even though Fatman and I both agree that we called that like a month ago. So, and I don't even think I, thought, no, it was even before Zelina came back. Yeah. So, as for the match itself, you both are 100% correct. It was sloppy as fuck. But you're going to hear me say this a lot. Crowd made it better. And I feel like that despite the sloppiness, despite the weird, I didn't like for instance, Alexa Bliss spot walking up the ladder. That was kind of weird. And fuck you.
Don't say it.
You're damn right I'm going to fucking say it.
Don't fucking say it.
The Zelina Vega bit with Alexa was absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Fuck you. The Undertaker commands lightning from his fingertips.
Alexa Bliss hasn't been in the company 30 years and comes from an era where Doink existed.
So, it was awesome.
It was not awesome. Go fuck yourself.
Best part of the match.
Of course you'd say that.
No, of course I'm going to say it, but it's true.
Of course you're going to say it.
Of the match was when Alexa was in the match.
Okay, well, I'll give you that.
100%.
The best part of the match is when she got buried.
That was the worst part.
100% the best part. Time to go to the bed.
That's fine.
Asuka had no chance. I knew that going in. There's no reason to put it on her at this point. I hate to say this, but it's almost above her. One of the big things about Money in the Bank, in my opinion, is it's usually and should be a vehicle to create new stars, create new main eventers. Yep. Nikki is absolutely going to be a huge part of the brand for at least the next year. So, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next up, Raw Tag Team Championships, AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders Experience Machine. 12 minutes, 55 seconds. Ryan, you're the tag team wrestling enthusiast.
the card for the dead match on the card. This was a really good match to have. Almas is still really rough around the edges, boys, but the only way you're going to make him any better, it's shitty, it's stupid, like, because he's such this anomaly. This big guy, you don't want to overexpose your big giant because he makes him normal. But what he needs is more time in the ring. He's still really rough around the edges. He's just really lucky he can do 2 or 3 really big things. Everything else is fine. Viking Raiders are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They understand the position they're in. They've been all around, so they had another good match, and AJ Styles could wrestle a fucking broom.
Sleazy.
It's a decent assessment of the entire match. I would add this, though. If you are going to position Omos as this huge giant that's stupidly green right now, this is probably...
Genetics pushed him as a stupidly giant.
Yes, but I just want to point out that this is one of the biggest problems, and this sounds strange saying this, but biggest problems with NXT right now is that he is the perfect person to send down to NXT for like 8 months and have a shit ton of matches going, literally door to door on TV, but also at the house shows. That would have been a perfect start for him. But because NXT has become this more polished brand, he would look absolutely out of place there right now. And it's actually better for him to be on the main roster fucking around in the tag division than it would be to go to the developmental.
I'm going to have that fight forever and a day. There's no developmental anymore. They have 3
there isn't.
brands.
I absolutely agree with that. And that's my point, is that now that you don't have a developmental, now you're running the same problem as you did before NXT even existed.
Essentially, the Performance Center is their developmental.
Yeah, but there's no... Yes,
Essentially.
but the problem ends up being is that
There's
now
no
you're not
TV.
working in front of crowds.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of part of the point of NXT / FCW, was that you're working crowds, you're working local TV in the terms of FCW. You were doing this stuff at a smaller level so you could hone your craft. Now he's stuck in this position where his first match was at WrestleMania. So, not to say that it's that he's doing terrible. He's not. He's just super green and you can see it.
With live events coming back, he'll get more work in.
Oh, for sure. And it's a good way of putting AJ Styles on the card as a draw without beating the shit out of him. He is 44.
Yeah, he's fine. I thought the match was good. Gave it 3 stars. I'm surprised, especially Sleazy to bring this up. I kind of had a problem with the officiating in this match. Now that the refs seemed to be in the way too much.
I think part of that I don't want to say it wasn't the ref's fault, but there was a lot of positioning issues because of Omos.
Okay.
There are many times where Omos had to reposition himself and got in the way with the ref.
And then there was also like the stupid tag in, tag out things he was doing to where he like instead of going tag, he'd be like, tag, he tagged. Ow, I forgot. It's not healed yet.
Dumbass.
He tagged. Like, it's like, you're the ref. Don't try to put yourself over. Come on. To me, it was distracting. It didn't take away from, like, the quality of the match. It was just like...
Who are the heels again?
The referee was the heel.
Really? I mean...
But no, like, Styles and Omos were getting cheered the whole match.
The first chant of the match was Styles.
It was AJ Styles, yep.
So, I mean... I'm glad they got cheered to an extent, but also, how are you working that? I mean, I think they did a good job of putting over Omos as a monster without killing that heat. If that makes any sense?
Well, I think it's obvious what they just got to do is just in front of live crowds. Pretty much what they're doing on Raw right now. You know, teaming them up with a pair of heels or with another heel to try to be, hey, they're heels.
Aha.
So, cheer or boo them.
So in other words, you need a better heel than AJ Styles. Got it.
Well, I think AJ's and Ryan can chime in on this. I think AJ's at the point of his career is like he could be a good heel, be a good face, but now fans haven't seen him in a year. They're going to cheer.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
All depends on your gimmick too. Like Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair is two examples of people that were heels and they got cheered anyway. And like, there's nothing you can do. Well, Adam Cole. Adam Cole's a heel, boss. You wouldn't know when he does his entrance. You wouldn't know when they announce him. But
right.
The Miz is an example. When you want to be a heel, you're going to get booed. AJ Styles is in that group that he will be a piece of shit soon enough for him to get back to being a heel.
Yeah. Because fuck you.
WWE title match.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Bobby Lashley defends against Kofi Kingston. Match went 7 minutes and 35 seconds. The shortest match on the card. Because, you know, LOL, two black people. Ken gave it 1.5. I agreed, but it was what it was supposed to be.
It served its purpose.
Yeah, like if they're touting that, oh, Lashley got quote soft, and you know, then the Raw before he realized that I did go soft. I'm gonna beat his ass, and he actually beat his ass. It's called
he did.
It's called continuity, or you know, continuing that storyline, the continuing psychology. So again, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was perfectly fine. Just like Kofi's loss to Brock Lesnar, I thought it was perfectly fine. And then I see people bitching about it. Why didn't Kofi get more offense in? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, it was what it was supposed to be. It was exactly what it's supposed to be. Shut up. Sleazy.
Wrong kid died.
How wrong?
No.
It doesn't feel right when Sleazy says it because he's wrong when he says it.
Right, because it's obvious it's wrong. I'm doing it for comedic effect. Yeah, the match was...
Let him play in our fun and games, fat man. Leave.
No!
I'm the sickly one here. I'm just throwing that card out there.
I'm the one that has 1.5 arms right now.
Well, okay, you got me there. So far, I still have function of 2 arms.
I mean, Sleazy, are you going to say anything different or am I going to say anything different than great squash match for Bobby Lashley, boys?
The only thing I was going to bring up was Xavier Woods wasn't out there, which was a surprise.
Yeah, that was...
And he was backstage. Because they took a picture, the 3 of them took a picture afterwards.
Yeah, I don't... They just didn't want to pay him for a pay-per-view payday.
Xavier Woods doesn't have a valid manager's license for singles competition, and he respects the sanctity
in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas.
See? That's why. It was just circumstantial. That's all it is.
I mean, I applaud that. I respect that, you know. That's all I got.
Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defends against Charlotte Flair. Match went 16 minutes and 50 seconds. Ken gave it 4 stars. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Can I start by saying that I'm not a huge fan of Rhea Ripley? Just in general?
You've stated that before,
okay.
Yes.
That being said, I consider this my favorite match of hers. It was so well done. If I was going to complain about it, which I usually do, is the basically having Charlotte do a finisher from the top and having her kick out probably shouldn't have happened. Other than that, I really, really like the match. I'm surprised they put it back on Flair, but I guess it was a matter of time, I guess. Yeah. Great match. I agree with Canton, 4 stars.
Ryan.
Wrong kid died.
Had to get it in.
Had to get it in. Oh, and 100% true. Rhea Ripley should have beat her. Rhea Ripley looks like shit again compared to Charlotte Flair.
I mean,
Cool.
Fat Man's over here doing Tai Chi.
I have to.
I mean, I get why you say that. Rhea's done enough on the main roster that I don't think this puts her out of contention, though.
Yeah, but you know what she hasn't done, though?
Beat Charlotte
Flair.
Flair.
She'll go to SmackDown, okay? That's where all the real money is.
I would say I agree with Ryan, but in this case, I don't. I think Ripley should have, if we were still in the Thunderdome, I think Ripley should have kept it and beat Flair. Now with live fans back, hey, Charlotte's the bigger draw. They need a big match for SummerSlam for that title. Charlotte will give them that match.
It'll be Charlotte Lynch.
I think Becky's going to SmackDown.
Mm-mm.
Because
no, she's going to SmackDown.
I 100%.
If they're putting Naomi and Jimmy together because they're a couple, and they're going to put Rollins and Becky Lynch together.
But WWE said that a couple of years ago. For the most part, they're keeping couples together. They don't want to split up couples and marry. You know what I mean? So that's exactly where Becky Lynch is going.
Like, if she's coming back for SummerSlam,
that doesn't mean she has to win the title. I don't think she's going to win the title. I do think she's going to be part of the match, though.
I don't think so.
She'd be a huge draw for when they actually do the brand draft, brand.
I was thinking
mix-up.
maybe she doesn't even come back till the fucking draft. But I don't think that. I think she'll be come back sooner.
She'll be back sooner because
But
she's a draw.
as far as the match goes, I fucking loved it. 4 1/4. They both worked their asses off. The crowd was hot the whole match. If this event didn't end the way it did, I could have seen this as the last match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. It was so hot. One of the things that came about in the match is that they started chanting for Becky, and Charlotte flipped them off, and they cut the video feed long enough to not show it.
So I was thinking about that when I watched it this morning. And I was like, it's a pay-per-view. Why would they do that? That makes zero sense. And then the more I thought about it, the more I went, well, I mean, most people are watching it on Peacock or WWE Network. Most likely Peacock. NBC Universal gave them $2 billion out of their $3 billion.
Mm-hmm.
If a $1 billion company, or if they're giving you $2 billion and say we don't want this, they're gonna fucking do it. Like,
absolutely.
So
that's what happens when you're beholden to the almighty dollar.
Yep. So,
kids, this is not a anti-capitalist podcast, but it can be real quick.
Men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
What, you saw a ladder match after this? I saw half of a ladder match.
Ha! We'll get to it. Big E versus Drew McIntyre versus John Morrison versus Kevin Owens versus... I can say it now because he officially is King. King phoning in versus Ricochet versus Riddle versus Seth Rollins. So, okay, 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Canton gave it 4.5 stars. I was going to make a comment saying, so I'm very glad that I didn't watch this live.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what you just said, didn't the feed cut out?
For about half the match. So much so that I'm not even going to rate it.
Okay. So the international feed kept going.
AKA that motherfucker.
And the replay that I watched was also the international feed, because normally when I watch replays, it will have like the Peacock thing logo on it. It wasn't on this one, what I watched this morning. So they really need, and this is what I don't understand. Peacock streams live sports, live television, live everything, and they never had this problem. Why is it when WWE comes over, you're the more technical guy, Sleazy, you can probably figure this out more than I do. Why is there a problem? Is it the way servers are or routed or what is it?
I don't know how they're doing it. So I can
sorry to interrupt you 1 second. They had this problem when WWE launched in 2014.
Yes. What they did was
WrestleMania that year kind of did the same thing, but then it took about 2 or 3 months, and after that, they were golden.
Right. Part of the reason why that was the case is that they have to figure out what their availability is. So when you are streaming an event, you're using, obviously server resources to shoot out that cast to multiple people. With the way WWE Network is set up, it's one hop. The feed goes to MLB.TV servers or wherever they are.
They're not using MLB.TV servers
at the time
anymore.
They were.
Well, maybe they are for the international feed still, but I know they're not for Peacock.
Right.
Dickhead, let him explain his thing.
So they're hitting one server, and then from there, it goes straight to the endpoints.
Okay.
What I'm thinking is happening is that they're still using that as the first line. Because only an idiot company would send 2 separate feeds to 2 separate services. They would almost certainly shoot it to one and one would shoot it to the other, because then it would be higher availability. The problem with doing that is exactly what you saw last night. Last night being last week, if you're listening to this. In the fact that if one connection's bad, but the other one isn't, you can at least switch over between the two. Right?
Which I guess is what they did. Yes. But
and that's exactly what happened. You had to reboot Peacock to get the new international feed, basically. The problem with that is you've also doubled your work. So now you're doing 2 separate feeds to 2 separate locations again. You see what I mean? Whereas if you were doing it originally, you're sending it to MLB.TV, and then MLB.TV is showing it to endpoints and sending a huge chunk of the data or a copy of it to Peacock, which is a nightmare. So I would say what probably happened was that they don't have a good enough high availability connection directly to Peacock yet. How long have they been doing specials now? What has it been? 3 months? 2 months? The first one was Backlash, right?
No,
it was before that.
Mania.
Was it Mania? No, it couldn't have been Mania.
I think it was Fastlane.
Fastlane. So that's Fastlane, Mania,
Backlash,
and then this one. So this is the fourth.
Hell in the Cell. No.
Hell in the Cell.
Backlash, Mania.
So this is number 5.
Hell in the Cell. Money in the Bank. Yeah.
So somebody's cheapening out. and not giving enough availability to those servers is what I'm thinking.
Okay, so another thing is, why didn't this problem happen earlier?
Well, it did for me. I
right,
had
you did say
issues
it.
all
Because
night.
People had issue on the pre-show too. Yeah.
I had issues right from go, and constant too. There were
No, I'm
many
talking
times.
about. Okay, yeah, you told me. Yeah, you saying that you said that in the chat, but I'm talking about the previous Peacock specials.
I had issues with them as well.
Okay.
I have not been successful in streaming beginning to end.
Because I
On
remember
Peacock.
you came over for Hell in the Cell,
Mhm.
and for some reason they put it at 8 instead of 7, which I do believe that was a problem with their server. It had
I would agree.
because everyone thought it was 7,
Everybody and their brother had it at 7.
and then once
But no, because they've been doing since Mania. Yes, that's 4 shows. Maybe before Mania, but Mania they started going back to 9:30 for pay-per-views.
Right. 9:30 Canuck time.
which
Yeah,
is
for
8 o'clock
people-
our time,
yeah.
but
18, yeah.
but no.
yeah, since Mania,
Hell in the
they've
Cell
been-
was the only one.
Hell in the Cell was the only one.
Was the only one at 8.
Yeah.
Everything else was at 7.
Nova.
Yeah.
Yup.
The pay-per-view started 9:30 last night.
Yes, it did. You're absolutely right. But before Hell in a Cell, it didn't. So,
Yeah.
which is why there was kind of confusion, I think. But
But anyway,
I think that here, and I just want to preface that by saying that I don't have any problems with internet here. Not a bit. I have a fiber connection. It's half gig down, half gig up. No problems.
so also here, my house, I don't have fiber because I live in an apartment complex and I got Spectrum, but I do have high-speed internet. And we did watch Hell in the Cell. We had no issues streaming it on my computer. I haven't tried. I got a PlayStation 5. Haven't tried streaming on my PlayStation 5 yet.
Listen to him flex about his PlayStation 5, by the way.
Hell yeah. My
Um,
Roku I know works because I streamed Mania on my Roku.
Question from the Canadian fella.
Yes.
We talked about we're talking about Money in the Bank, right? Not your stupid fucking PlayStation.
I mentioned it once and Sleazy brought it up. I was saying I haven't
Twice.
streamed it, so I don't know how the speed is on the PlayStation 5.
I can
Big
tell you.
Ito.
What do you say?
I said Big Ito.
Big E, though.
Big burrito? What?
Big E, though.
Oh. So Kevin Owens died.
Multiple
Oh, yeah.
times.
Oh my god.
So
There
that
was
first
no
bump,
need.
I was like, that hurt me. His knee hit right stab on the corner of that ladder.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the second bump, I read your comments, and I was just like, oh, he died. And it looked brutal. He was obviously safe on that one, but
Right.
it looked brutal. I was just like, oh, shit.
Looked fucking amazing.
I thought it was a great match. I agree with Ken, 4.5 stars. Again, the crowd being back just added to the match so much. Glad Biggie won. It was the right call, even though it was the obvious call. But we've said many times on this show, just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's not the right decision.
So what was it missing?
I was going to say something smart, but I'll get in super trouble. Well, I'm not going to.
Orton? It's hard to say what. I do have some minor quibbles about it.
Enough to not say it's a 5-star match if you're going to call it a 4.5-star
Nakamura
match.
barely did any spots in it.
I can't even
what?
tell you. I didn't see half the match.
He like had an entrance, and that was it.
I heard there was a promo before it that was really fucking funny too. I didn't see that either.
Well, that you should go find it.
Yeah,
Riddle Nakamura on Boogs. Oh, sleazy gold.
I shall. I do love what they're doing with Corbin and Knock and all that shit. So it's giving Knock a reason to live, I guess. I don't know.
What am I watching right now?
Raw?
I am, but I'm watching Jackson Riker facing Elias for the 30th time in like 5 weeks.
Why not?
And they're slamming each other on pianos.
Is that simply a destruction match? It's Elias's match. He's had a bunch of them already. Watch the fucking product.
He's had a bunch of, like, when?
He had multiple ones.
Multiple.
Remember the whole bass gimmick with Braun Strowman?
That was the first one.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Was it that bad? I put it out of my memory.
I will say I don't think he had one on pay-per-view.
No, they've all been on Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains it. No one watches Raw anyway.
Yeah. So watch the fucking product.
Except as I'm watching Raw right now.
Yeah.
It was probably in the dark times where I wasn't watching Raw. Or I was working like Monday nights because my schedule has been changed the last couple of years. So
that's true.
Okay, so
anyway,
you might as well call the Money in the Bank match a 5-star match.
Nope. No, it's a 4.5-star match. You can't tell me what my star rating is, you Canadian fat piece of shit.
Okay, so what was it missing?
It was missing. You had a guy in the match who didn't do anything. So why was he there? That's what was missing.
So if he didn't do anything, he didn't fuck anything up, and it shouldn't take anything from the star rating.
He was there. He was an Asian. Okay? That's what fucked it up.
Sleazy.
I will not tolerate any Asian beatings on this show.
Yes.
That's where I stopped.
Yes. And he just sits there. That's all. He just says it.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. I did like McIntyre in the match, and then Ginger. I can say him now. Ginger Mahal got his pay-per-view payday by hitting McIntyre with a chair.
That works for me, brother.
Carrying him the fuck out.
So they're gonna have a match at the Summerfest.
My biggest,
because they're buddies and they're gonna beat the shit out of each other and they're gonna have a laugh doing it.
Oh, absolutely they will. My biggest problem with Ginger coming back.
Oh,
steroids.
Ginger. Thank you.
His two flunkies.
Of course, he has to have two flunkies.
He upgraded his flunkies. I liked his original.
They're not cruiserweights anymore. Randy Orton can't fucking kill him.
Yeah.
He went from two Smurfs to Jackie and Packy.
Okay, fair. But I still miss the Bollywood boys. It's terrible that they had to leave. Just in time for Jinder to come back.
Yep.
No.
Okay, 4.5 stars. Ryan can't change my mind. Fuck him. He's Canadian anyway. You don't know how to do math. Universal Championship.
Ooh,
Roman Reigns defends against Edge. 31 minutes and 10 seconds. Ken gave it 4 1/4. Ryan.
It's hard for me to decide whether this or the men's Money in the Bank match was match of the night, because those were two fucking great matches. The story in it was good. I know I see people shitting on all the run-ins, but the run-ins made that match better because there was so much emotionally invested into every side. Every time you turned around, there was another, oh, fuck, oh, right, oh, cool, oh, like, it had me, and Edge being that up in the age and looking like a fucking walking zombie, but still being able to go, I really, really enjoy.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. That was a cool spot.
What the fuck?
I'm
the only one not watching Raw right now.
Jackson Riker just did a suplex off the top through 2 tables onto Elias and got the pin. Yeah. And I don't know if Elias got busted over hard way or not, but he's bleeding.
Ooh.
So, but
sorry.
Whatever. Sorry, Ryan. I just had to say that was actually a pretty cool spot.
It looked cool, yeah. But yeah, everything about that match was really good. That was. I'll disagree with your statement earlier. The women should have main evented. No,
I said they could have. I said if this match, I think this should have been the main event because the way it ended and what happened after, which we'll get to. But I'm just saying, if that didn't happen, I could see them being in the main event. Not that they should have been in the main event.
Fair.
Same with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That could have made event too. And quite frankly, maybe it should have. But we know how the show ended. So yeah. Sleazy.
If it wasn't for the fact you had so many run-ins, I would have given this a 5-star match. I think it got to the point where the run-ins did take away from it. But not much. I still consider this a 4.5-star match. And barring some humongously amazing spots that I missed in the Money in the Bank match, I would consider this the best match of the night. The storytelling was phenomenal. Every single bit was smart. The pacing was perfect from minute 1 to the very last minute. Like I said, basically effectively 4 run-ins and a ref bump though. Kind of takes away from it a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, cool. It gets Edge out without looking like a complete and total idiot. It sets up his next feud with Rollins.
Which is going to be amazing.
Which is going to be amazing. You're absolutely right. And obviously the Mysterios are not done with the Usos. So that fit in. And then obviously we have what happened afterwards. So yeah, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. It was just marred by probably a little too many run-ins. Because they kind of foreshadowed the Rollins thing.
Yep.
I think you could have done away with the Usos and the Mysterios running in. And just had...
That's why the Rollins thing was better.
Yeah.
Because the Usos look like they're going to get there, and the Mysterios stop them off. So you, in your mind, what I think happened is a better way to put it. Not to say people should or did not. In the general wrestling fans' mind, then
Reigns, you think that's it? Yeah, you think that's it. There's no more interference. Reigns just lost.
His buddies are gone.
I agree with that. Only if Rollins only interfered once, but he didn't. He did. He did twice.
Once was after the match.
Yeah, the second one, that was after the match shit. It
was after the match.
No, that was the third time. The finish was he got up on the apron, Edge kicked him off.
But that's right.
The first time was before that, before the ref came back. He interfered twice.
He did interfere twice.
No, I don't know.
I'm still okay with it, though.
I guess when Edge booed him, I don't kind of interfering because...
It was enough to cause him to lose it.
I'll call that a distraction, but that wasn't really interference because Edge boots him. That's how I look at it in my head. So I get what you're saying, but right, you know what I mean?
The point is that there was a second time where Rollins cost him potentially the match. And the second time it actually worked. The first time it didn't.
Yeah.
I like that better then, though. You said you foreshadowed it. He has to do something.
Right.
About it.
It didn't
work. It didn't work the first time. So he had to come back to make his plan work.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
You just don't like it.
I don't have a problem with anything that happened with Rollins. My problem is the Usos coming in before that made it too much.
Well, again,
I think it made it too much.
Going back to Ryan's things, the Usos were, or at least one of them, was always interference in Reigns matches anyway, so it was to be expected.
I understand.
And that's why you brought it in people's heads when the Mysterios chased them off, going, "That's it, Rollins is losing." Yeah, so it worked.
I understand that. I just don't like the fact that it felt a little too much like too many people got involved.
There's only 5 extra people. And
I mean,
yeah, but
at what point do we call it? And then the NWO ran down. Okay,
This isn't AEW, okay?
you're right.
Oh, that's another thing that chaps my fucking ass.
what, AEW?
No, I saw Fyter Fest. It was a good show. It was actually a really good show. It was as good as Money in the Bank.
Mm-mm. That casket match is really good, though.
It was. I liked it. And really, the FTW title is what in the history of wrestling? Nothing. So having a new champion?
No, 100% disagree with that.
Dumb. It was dumb. I get it that they had to swerve it, which that makes sense.
No,
So there was a
she does,
purpose
too.
to it. And so it served a purpose.
It makes sense, but
I just don't like the FTW title. It's fucking, people call belts props. That's legitimately the definition of it. It's just absolutely nothing. But anyway, I thought Sleazy gave the star rating 4.5 stars. Literally said everything that I had in my notes. I said I was debating if I thought it was too long, but it was paced perfectly. So it didn't seem like it was 33 minutes long. It went a perfect pace. I'm fine with the interference. I think it made sense. I think I'll give the men's Money in the Bank match tonight by a C hair.
thank you.
Oh, thanks, Capper.
Hey,
Squish my balls.
You didn't like your little message in the episode last week, Susan?
Notice it got bleeped out.
So, yeah.
I like the show.
Did you notice during one of those ref bumps, Edge hit the spear? The fans were counting 1, 2,
And he
3.
kicks and Reigns kicks
Reigns
out.
Yeah,
kicks
Trick
out.
Motherfucker can't even stay down for 3 out of fake count.
Oh, no.
Again, he just thought that the fans were probably so loud. He's not used to that. So the fans were probably, he hasn't done it in 18 months. The fans were so loud that he thought the ref was there.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was so good.
100%.
I laughed. I laughed.
Yeah,
It was like,
Is it a botch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it matter? No. Don't worry, Matthew will be queuing it up for next episode.
Overall thoughts on the show.
Loved it.
Pay-per-view.
Yay. Fantastic. Well done.
Maybe pay-per-view of the year.
I won't go that far yet, but
So far.
so far, probably, yeah. Yeah,
I think it's either between that, WrestleMania, or Double or Nothing.
Are we going to play the game of
WrestleMania's one event.
then WrestleMania was better?
And I got to look back at I'm keeping all my notes. I got to look back at my Wrestle Kingdom notes too.
Yeah.
So Wrestle Kingdom, Mania, Double or Nothing, or this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's been great shows so far. I mean, as a general rule.
Mhm.
There have been some stinkers, but yeah.
You notice that all 4 of those events have been in front of live crowds.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. Honestly, having now I didn't watch SmackDown. So
I didn't either.
This was my first time back as a
Me too.
full fan, like nothing ever happened.
I'm going through it and we missed one of the most important parts.
Nah, fuck John Cena.
Dun, 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 dun.
As soon
See,
as
and I had people online going, I'm going to see Cena back, but that was kind of stupid. He just showed up and the paper went off the air. No.
that's perfect.
What did Rollins says? Now everyone must acknowledge me. Cena comes out and says, you can't see me. He ain't acknowledging him. That's going to piss Roman Reigns off.
Spoiler for next week's show. I love how both pay-per-views this weekend ended with somebody coming out that, holy shit, and then the pay-per-view just stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've not seen Slammiversary. I've surprisingly not seen any spoilers for Slammiversary.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you got some fun coming up on you.
So,
Eddie Edwards is dead.
Yup. Yup.
So no spoilers. But
I
got
have a
news.
fondness for pizza again.
Then I guess Eddie Edwards isn't dead.
Okay.
I'm just very fond of pizza, Ryan.
Oh, my God. And garbage buckets are terrible.
Yep. This is phenomenal. We should do this more.
Oh, my God. Homer Simpson had the right idea for that chiropractic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll be back after these messages.
So Kota Ibushi,
Right into news
I'm
observers.
changing the subjects. Keeps getting pulled from New Japan shows due to illness. It's not COVID-19. The first show was because he had side effects of the vaccination, and then these last couple of shows they've not really just because of illness.
Okay,
That's it. They
that's
got no
interesting.
Yeah.
It's bird flu or something, does it?
Probably.
Walter is dealing with a legit hand injury, but he should be good to go. Harry Smith resigns with WWE. Oh, wait, sorry. The amount of people that want to go to AEW is going to shock you. Harry Smith signs with WWE.
Well done. He's looking more and more like his father now.
Oh, yeah, every bit.
SmackDown on September 17th in Atlanta got, quote, canceled. Or it's not going to be in Atlanta anymore.
Hashtag canceled.
No reason why. No new city's been announced. And also, the Super Show in Gainesville has also been canceled. And of course, Dave Meltzer says it's due to lack of ticket sales. Which
fucking lying piece of shit. Why do you still call yourself a journalist?
Actually got attendance on last night's Money in the Bank was 10,000, which is a sellout for that arena. SummerSlam has sold over 40,000 tickets with 0 matches being announced. And I had to put my little spin on this. But, WWE is going to be in big trouble when live fans come back.
Yes.
AEW's selling out
a tennis arena.
Well, okay, they did do that. That's about 20,000.
16.
Whatever. Okay, but they've been selling out 5,000 seat arenas while WWE's selling 40,000 tickets. But WWE is going to be in serious trouble.
I don't, I said that with a sneer. But legitimately, to have a non-WWE event sell out 15,000 plus, it's pretty fucking
that's great.
Good.
No, it's good.
Yeah. I just want to put that out there
Yeah. No, it's...
I'm not bashing AEW there. I'm just doing it for comedic effect again.
And of course, Dave Meltzer reports that...
Of course.
AEW is selling more tickets in New York City than WWE is. Because the Madison Square Garden SmackDown is only sells 7,000 tickets. Here's the thing that Dave Meltzer doesn't realize. I guarantee you AEW's tickets are probably 30 times less than what the show in Madison Square Garden would be.
Well, there's another big piece of that.
Producing TV in Madison Square Garden is way more expensive.
And there's another piece of that.
Why?
If I remember correctly, they are requiring, WWE is requiring everybody who walks into that arena to be vaccinated.
So there may be, okay.
So.
Okay. And that's another big reason why. There's multiple factors. Of course, Dave Meltzer, as the wrestling journalist that he is,
he's been doing this for 40 years. What the fuck are you talking about, yeah?
Because WWE is such in really bad shape.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They've teamed up with TikTok, and they're going to search for a guest ring announcer to announce a match at SummerSlam?
I'm hoping it's Chris Gullo.
Huh.
I'm putting over Chris Gullo right now. If you've never heard him announce, you should. Fucking hilarious. He's the announcer for ESW, also announcer for Excite now. Does MMA as well. And he also does stand-up comedy. Great guy. Look for him, find him, get on it. You can find him. Actually, while we're at it, I'm going to fucking promote his podcast too. The podcast Rediscovering the Indies, you can find that on Spotify and iTunes. It's him and Jonathan Ash, and they do deep dives on the independent wrestling scene in very specific areas. Like the last 4 episodes, they did a huge deep dive on XPW, featuring Rob Black and all that fun shit. And
Kurt Angle?
No. Sorry, no. But it is an absolute wonderful listen. If you enjoy our content, you'll absolutely enjoy theirs. Check them out. Rediscovering Indies. You can find them on Twitter at RTI Pod.
Couple wrestling engagements. Sheamus got engaged to a female named Isabella Ravilla.
I love how you say female.
To a female.
Sure said fella got engaged to not a fella.
Yo.
What the fuck?
I guess she's was a super fan of his and they met and fell in love, I guess. I guess he's 20 years older than her. But oh my god, she is fucking gorgeous. Good for Sheamus.
Smoke show, yeah.
Yeah. And sorry,
well done,
Ryan.
Sir. Well done.
But Quinn McKay and Dak Draper got engaged.
Ooh.
I like Quinn McKay. She's so cute.
She is. I was able to watch the ROH Weekly at work this week.
Nice.
She lost to Mandy Leon.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I knew the match happened, but I didn't know what happened with it.
Yeah, she lost. But Mandy Leon is.
For you.
But Mandy Leon's also oh my god, she's gorgeous too. So apparently the reason why the Lesnar versus Lashley match isn't happening at SummerSlam is because WWE sees money in a Lashley in a Lesnar versus Reigns match, and they wanted to put Lashley over Lesnar. So having Lashley lose to Lesnar will be harmful for his future match with Reigns. Cool. Awesome anal cyst.
I mean, what the fuck? Seriously. So you wait for Lashley or Reigns to go up against Lesnar when? Survivor Series?
No, that's Raw versus SmackDown.
So next one would be the Rumble. Yeah, Lashley's not holding the title that long.
Who says it has to be a title match?
It's going to be.
Who says it has to be, though?
Because Lesnar only fights for titles. There's no reason for him to fight Lashley otherwise.
Alexa's on my TV screen. Yay. So WWE's contract with Hulu is set to expire either the end of this year or early next year. They do the next day content. So
I'll tell you, I have a bone to pick with that shit. God damn it. So I wanted to watch 205 Live, right? Now 205 Live streams live on Peacock, right? So I was thinking, okay, I can just go watch it. Well, I missed it. Fuck. Oh, well. Get on there 5 minutes before the end. Shit. So I go and try and rewind. No, you can't fucking rewind on Peacock.
Which is dumb.
Right. So it's like, oh, fuck. Well, I'll wait till it ends and then it should pop right up. No, it doesn't. In fact, it's 3 weeks behind. The only way I could watch it is probably Hulu. But I ended up Arr! Because there's no way for me to watch the fucking show. I have access to the content, but I couldn't watch the show. What the fuck is this? I can only do these rants for so long. I have a heart condition.
So,
that was supposed to be
interrupted
funny.
Me. The next day contract will most likely go to Peacock, since they air Raw and SmackDown 30 days later, anyways, and that way it would be another incentive for people to get Peacock so they can watch it next day. But don't be surprised if YouTube, Amazon, or Fox tries to bid for those rights. However, obviously it's not going to be that big of a bid because next day content is not that lucrative compared to live content, obviously.
Right.
But it's still going to be another contract that WWE gets. That's probably going to be more than what it is now, but they're in terrible shape.
They're in terrible shape.
And speaking of that, WWE's held a meeting on Thursday stating that promotion and raises are coming back after they were, quote, frozen during their most profitable time ever.
Yeah, okay.
A couple more things. Mike Bailey said he has not signed with any company, and whoever signs him would have to obviously work out a visa issue with him due to Bailey not being able to enter the United States.
Yeah. The only person that would do that would be WWE.
Just like Ryan can't enter the United States.
Right.
Yeah, I can. Never bought weed that time.
Fair.
Okay, so this one last thing is kind of shitty. So Pete Dunne auctioned off his ring used gear from the Indian House show this year. Proceeds were going to go to the Akron's Children's Hospice in West Midlands in the UK. Somebody by the name of Harris6313 won the bid. Then he decides that he's refusing to pay and called wrestling fake crap.
No, boys be shit.
So he purposely put in a bid knowing that he wasn't going to pay.
Yep.
And you know what the shitty thing about it is? Pete Dunne even has screenshots of the emails. And then the guy had the audacity of saying, because Pete Dunne messaged him again saying, it wasn't me who placed the bid. I don't know what you're talking about. Even though he had screenshots of him as the winning bid and messaging him back and forth about the fake wrestling shit. And then even shittier thing about it is that eBay is all like, sorry.
Yeah, they're very much like, they don't care.
So either they're thinking about just doing the bid again or doing the second place bid.
Which they could find out. But,
yeah.
You know, whatever.
But, yeah.
It sucks.
It's a shitty thing.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Go ahead.
No, I just say it's stupid. That's all.
Oh, like, if I was eBay, I'd be like, you're no longer able to do business on eBay if you're going to do that shit.
If you dealt with eBay in the last few years, you know that's not going to happen.
I have not dealt with eBay, and you know how I feel about eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Even anytime I've had to find something rare, it's on eBay. I literally hand Sleazy money and go, can you buy it? I do not trust. I use eBay 4 times. 3 times my credit card number got stolen.
That's amazing.
So in other words, he moves the risk to me.
Yep. So he's like, I've never had a problem.
I haven't. From you? I've been on eBay 15 years. I haven't had a single problem.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it for news and rumors.
Cool. Ryan Twata.
Ryan Buck 85.
Cool. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
TWS Fat Man.
And the show is at Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter. You can check out gearnetwork.com for this show and everything else. Also, Gear Network for all the shows on Spotify, Spreaker, and iTunes, and what else? What else is out there? Instagram at Sleazy Fat Man. We have not done a TikTok yet. I heard that. I do have the app on my phone, so watch it.
You would.
Yeah. It's another social media platform that I won't use, so whatever. But that's pretty much it for the show. So with thanks to Ryan and for Sleazy.
For the Fat Man.
This is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Kenny Omega. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Nick Gage. I'm going old school. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game. The blood shedding your name. When there's nothing to gain, all the world gone sad.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.